Hi, beautiful people.
Hey guys, it's
D
and Mish, and
we're back at it again with another video.
we've done this 3 times now, and it hasn't gotten any better. We'll work on it.
No,
So
I like my intro. Okay.
Were you interrupt? We're not gonna get into it. Today, we're gonna talk about long distance relationships and how they suck. No, how to
And
get
the outs, the ups, the downs, and everything that comes with that.
So grab a snack, get a drink, get
Close
some
your
sweet
blinds.
tea. Close your blinds. Drink some water.
Then you can get sweet tea and water.
Stay hydrated. We in quarantine. So
Day 3.
Day 3 of quarantine?
Yeah, I've been here
Wow.
for the day.
And here we are now social distancing.
It doesn't count when you shouldn't see us not without the other. If we do, send help.
She either lost me or I lost her. There's no in between. Alright guys. So first things first.
This one got into college because I'm a year older. So I went all the way to Nebraska, which is almost 1,300 miles from here. Just about. It's like 1240 something, 50 something.
About.
And this one had to stay here.
I still had to finish the year. So everyone, when I tell them, oh, my girlfriend's in a different state, they always tell me, oh, so did you guys like meet online? No. We met long time ago.
So today we have known each other officially for 4 years. Does not sound like a lot, but see, I was freshman year in high school and she was in 8th grade.
I was still a fetus. Shut
Her
up.
birthday's next week. Should be it.
Getting through my birthday. During
Quarantine edition.
Anyways, so
So for me, this isn't my first long distance relationship. It's not, and you know it's not.
oh,
We have exes.
proceed. No, you can't say we have exes.
Like that. But so for me, I kind of know the struggle, how it hurts, like to not be together. And for us, it was harder because we were together for so long.
From day one.
From day one, since since February.
Yeah, of 2016.
Yeah. You're old.
Shut up.
And so it was so different because I had to leave for college for like August till December when I came back. And then this time around, before quarantine, I left between January and last week.
Yeah.
So it was harder because we're so used to being together and being around each other, being able to call, text, and like go see each other. So like within 10 minutes, and to not be able to do that at all for 4 or 5 months sucked.
I think one of the hardest parts was going through, one, not being able to see each other and communicate, but also having to deal with the time difference. I would
2 hours ahead.
Yeah.
In Nebraska.
So I'd be getting up for school when she's already in class, or I'd be still up while she's already in bed. So
Or I'm getting up for class and you haven't woken up yet.
yeah, so it was always a give and take, and then she got a job.
Oh yeah.
And then she was always tired. She, sometimes we'd go days without talking. I'd get nervous. I'm a worry ward. I've always been. And so I'd get really anxious, and it was really hard, and there was a lot of like give and take, and like sometimes I'm the one that's usually starting arguments. But that's
And
okay.
it's usually just to get me to like really be active on my phone.
Because I wanted to talk to her. Don't be me, guys.
Because instead of calling me, she'd be like, so we need to talk.
But she would answer. Don't be me. So we want to tell you guys some things that we did, some things that you shouldn't do, the ups and the downs, and how we had to go through with that. Because after knowing each other, after seeing each other every single day at school, before she left, that summer before she left, the first time, we spent every single day together for at least 2 weeks.
Minus like maybe 4 or 5 days that we just didn't have a way to go see each other.
Yeah, because she was living a few cities away from me at that point because she moved out. So I was, I had to deal with having her far away, which what I felt was far away, a few cities away, and then to have her a few states away. So for context, we're in Cali. She was in Nebraska for college.
But now we're on quarantine, so I'm online classes. So
yeah, so now she's here. I get to see her every day.
I'm home until we leave in August.
Yeah, we have to go back in the fall, if we can go back in the fall.
True.
And so, let's get started. Tip number 1, communication.
Oh, yeah. So if you're feeling lonely, don't start an argument.
Communication. Communication. It
has to go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and what I mean by that is it's not I'm gonna call you and then we're gonna talk on the phone, that's it. It means that if I have class or she has class or she has whatever, we need to make sure that we say, hey, I'm going to class, and not just not answer your phone.
That one is the one that struggled with that.
Because I'm so used to just moving about my day. Because, going to college for your first year is so different than high school. You have to work out your schedules, your timings, where your classes are going to be, how far your classes are from where you live. Study groups, and like just making sure you have to go see office hours and stuff like that. And so for me, it was like, okay, I have to leave for class. And I text her all the way till I got in class, and I just stopped. And it wasn't on purpose. It was because the class finally started after I was already there. She would always miss her first period.
I hate it.
And I'm like, where are you?
I was at home, asleep.
And then wouldn't text me back.
And then I'd show up with like coffee and like something to eat.
And then didn't bring me anything.
Nope. Communication. That's important, kids. Like, honestly, whether it's a text in the morning of like, hey, this is what my schedule's gonna look like today if I'm not really on my phone. Something, anything. It works. It helps. I cannot stress this. I know everyone's like, oh, communicate. No. It has to go both ways. If you're not a really busy person, tell them, I have nothing to do. I might be bugging you today. Or if...
You never told me that you just bugged me.
I just bugged her because it was expected.
Or like when I had work, that's when I was really like on it about texting her, hey,
Yeah.
I'm about to clock in.
Yeah.
I'm clocking out.
Yeah.
I can't text you while I'm at work.
Yeah.
Because they make us put our phone in our lockers. So like I can't text you while I'm at work. I don't have my phone on.
Yeah. And it was really, really cool because I'd get to know when she's like at work and stuff. Things I didn't get to live with her, I was living vicariously through the phone on like what her day would look like. And it actually really helps. It's really comforting to know that like your partner, and it wasn't for us, it was never a, oh, she's gonna go out and cheat on me, or oh, she's gonna be out doing something she's not supposed to.
Keep tabs on her.
Yeah, no. It was always more of a, I'm worried about her safety, I want her to be okay, I want to make sure that she's eaten, that she's feeling good, that she's like on top of things. And it was always more of that than it was anything of like jealousy. Like usually I just mess with her, it's either like, oh, who's that? But it was all in like good fun. Like I've never like disrespected any of like her friends or coworkers or anything. And I'd always ask her about like her coworkers. She went out and she had her fun, and like I don't worry about it. And it's being able to like care about each other's safety and making sure that the other person's okay more than, oh, they're with someone. Because if that's the worry, then what are you guys doing? Point number 2.
If you don't trust me to like not answer you because I'm at work or because I went out with coworkers or like to get that environment, because when I moved, I was by myself. Like I didn't have friends, I didn't have family when I moved. And so I figured that's like where her worry come from, is that like I have to go meet new people that I don't know, that she doesn't know. And I have to communicate, I have to do things with them, I have to like experience life with them. And so that's where you have to trust your partner.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have trust, and especially with a long distance relationship, you're gonna always be unhappy and worrying about whether or not, oh, they're with so and so, when I didn't know they were going with so and so.
Yeah. And that's where communication and trust kind of just go together. Don't be shady about like who you're hanging out with. Like be transparent, like, oh, I'm hanging out with so and so. Because if you if you're intentionally not telling your partner who you're hanging out with, then it's gonna raise some suspicion. It's gonna be like, oh, so all of a sudden you can't tell me when you're hanging out with that person.
Like, you're like, oh, I'm with my friend, and then don't say who.
Yeah.
Like, when I tell her I'm with someone, I'm like, oh, I'm with John, or oh, I'm with Jake, or oh, I'm with Kat. Like, I actually gave her names so that she can put faces or like names, just at least names, the people I'm talking about, people I'm hanging out with.
Like, one of her friends, like, she told me that he needs coffee, and like, now I know, you know, and it's really comforting, and I feel like a part of her life. I'm still out there, even though
you're not physically out there.
Even though I'm not physically out there. Comes to point number 3, respect. Respecting each other and like respecting each other's space, not starting arguments over like petty things, which I struggled with. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled with it because I would get nervous, and I'm a very like anxious person, and I would automatically assume that something wasn't okay. She wasn't answering me. I panicked, and now she has 13 missed calls from me, 5 voicemails.
I want to say I was dead asleep.
She was asleep.
And I'd pick up my phone and I'm like, hello.
And that's just, it's one of the things that, you know, like, she knows that I care about her. She knows that I love her, and I feel like that's where that comes from. Aww. And it's never been me worried about like who she's with. I'm more worried of, is she okay? And I feel like just respecting each other's space and like time, and you know, I couldn't be that person of like, oh, you can't text me during work all of a sudden. No, don't be that person. She's at work. She's in class. If she texts me while she's in class, I know that it's okay for me to text her back. But I'm not going to be blowing up her phone while she's in class either, because that's not respecting her time for her school, her work, her homework, or even her sleep schedule. I had to get used to, because it was 7 p.m. here, but it was 9 p.m. over there. She was getting ready to go to school because next morning she had to be up at 6. So I had to be pretty consistent with, okay, it's 7 p.m. here. Let me not be overbearing. After like 8 p.m., I'd probably not try to text her as much as possible if she didn't text me throughout the day. Unless it was the weekend, then I wouldn't really worry about it. But I feel like you just gotta respect the other person's like personal life, because yeah, you are part of that personal life, but you're not with them day in, day out. They have responsibilities. They have things that they need to get done.
Like for me, I had class in the morning, and then the afternoon I had work until like 5, 6 o'clock. And then I would still have homework to do from classes because I just went to class and went straight to work. And so like I would come home, I'd eat, and then I'd maybe take like a 10-minute, 30-minute nap, and then I'm doing homework for the next 3 hours. And so I'd either call her during I'm doing my homework, when I can, if I'm not typing something that's like really important that I need to focus on, or I just call her and play music and mess around and never get my work done.
Yeah.
I got it done, eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
I just got it done. It's
2 minutes? 2 minutes before the deadline?
I'm that person that did the 11:59 when it's due and turned it in at 11:58. I had to.
Ridiculous.
I had to.
So, make time. Make time. I cannot stress this enough. I know you guys are busy. I know you guys have things you guys need to do, but make time. Whether it's during a phone call. Sometimes she would not have time. She wouldn't have time, and she would still call me while she's going to the dining hall and while she's gonna go eat. Or she'd call me while she's doing homework that doesn't need all of her attention. Or she'd call me and complain about her homework. Make time. She'd complain about her professors. She'd complain about so-and-so was bothering me today. Or this kid put peas up his nose. Because she works at a child center. So for me, it was always, you know, it felt nice to know that she would make time for me, because I had nothing but time. So for her to genuinely like call me or text me or be like, hey, I'm clocking out, I'll call you after I get off the bus, you know, it's always just making time for the other person. Because as busy as you are, you can make time here and there. If you have time to watch this video, you have time to text them. You have time to call them. And if you don't, then be transparent about it and be like, listen, I'm a very busy person. I have love and care for you, but I can't be on the phone with you all the time. Or, you know, and it's going back to that communication of, hey, I'm a busy person. And you need to learn how to make time. Whether you want to, whether you don't. If you don't want to make time for someone,
then don't waste their time. Like for me, like if I had a really busy day, I would tell her in the morning, hey, so I have this, and that. If I can't text you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or like I would say, oh, I don't have time until after so-and-so time. Yeah. And so that she knows that, hey, that I'm not just blowing you off. I'm letting you know that today I have a full work schedule. I have a full this, and that I can't be on my phone today.
Yeah. Or when she would have exams, she'd tell me, hey, I have exams tomorrow. I'm going to be studying all day today, all day tomorrow, and then I'm going to have my exam, and then I have to prepare for the exam for the next day.
Oh,
and
finals.
Yeah.
Or like for me, I would have class, work, exam, eat, then do homework.
So there's no time, and you have to communicate that, but you also have to respect the other person that, you know what, they have things to do. Yeah, you are a priority, but sometimes you cannot be on your high horse. Put your pride aside. Please, please, please put your pride aside. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to cause arguments. You are not, the world does not revolve around you 99% of the time.
Like, don't say stuff like, oh, you took a nap instead of calling me.
Yeah, I know so many couples that have broken up because they're always arguing. They always want to be the top priority, or that they, whatever. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And as you get out of high school, mostly when you get out of high school, you start realizing that the other person has responsibilities, and they have the right to not be worried about not being able to text you because they have work to get to, and it's putting your pride aside, knowing that you're not always going to be top on their list for the day, because they need to get sleep. If you care about that person, you want them to eat, you want them to get sleep, and you want them to do well, you want them to succeed. And if you're getting in the way of that success, then that's a self-reflection moment. Like, there's not much.
Like for us in high school, we would just meet up together after classes and either hang out or whatever, or go to each other's houses and do homework, and then have the rest of our times to each other. We can't do that when I'm 4 days away. It's, hey, you don't have class right now, but I do. I have work, I have homework, and I'm going to call you at 7 o'clock.
I think another thing that really, really, really helps, and this is only for the couples that can see each other one day, if you guys are in a long distance relationship and it's always been a long distance relationship, then I don't know what to tell you. But I feel like one thing that really, really helps strengthen that relationship is having something to look forward to. Whether it's them calling you at a certain time, for those people that just can't see each other, video calling, or Skyping.
If you don't have iPhone, Skype is really good.
Skype works, anything like that. But also knowing that when you get to see them again, you know what you guys are going to do. You guys know what plans you guys are going to have. Make a plan, have something to look forward to. Say, oh, when you get here, we should go eat here. If you guys are big foodies and you're like, hey, let's go try this place. Or, oh my god, I've been craving a burger or a burrito, or things like that. It's making it an event of seeing each other in any way that you can.
Or even if it's I'm tired, I'm gonna call you on Skype and we're gonna go to sleep. Yeah.
Putting in the work. You need to put in the work. It's not a one-way street. It's not, oh, they're not doing anything, or I'm not used to pursuing something. Don't do it. Do not go into that loop of, oh, they need to spoil me all the time. Don't be that person. I baby her and she hates it, but at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here for the long run, and if you're not willing to put in the work, then it's not gonna work out. And I feel like that's with anything.
When I came back from winter break, before we planned out an entire spreadsheet, whether or not we did everything on that spreadsheet, but we made a list of 3 weeks before I got there, that entire 3 weeks, because it's my birthday and it was Christmas, and New Year's. And so then we made like this spreadsheet of everything we said we wanted to do, like whether it was food, a restaurant we wanted to go see because I hadn't been home in a while, or if it was just, hey, I want to go bowling, or hey, I want to go to the park, or hey, I want to go do this with so and so.
Seeing
family and all that, like making sure that we plot those together. Because it was our first Christmas officially together, that we could spend it together doing everything together.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, well, we have some things you can come with me and some things you can't. It was our first year where I had the entire time to go do whatever we could do together.
Holidays is a really, really tough time, mostly for same-sex couples, because you have to deal with, or just queer couples in general, having to deal with family, how your family's going to receive them. And we live by the philosophy of, like, we had to stop caring. At some point, we had to stop caring. And it was one of those, if my family's going to love me, they have to love me for me and who I'm with and who I love. So,
and if not, it's like, I'm not going to put my energy into making you happy about my relationship.
Yeah. And it's getting used to that. You're not always going to make people happy, but you cannot deny who you are forever.
Just for your family.
Yeah.
You know, just to make them happy for the holidays.
Yeah.
Because then you're spending the holidays without your significant other just because your family is like, oh, well, I need you to be this.
Yeah.
For the week.
Yeah. And if you're not ready to come out, then that is something you need to talk to your partner about.
Or just invite them as a friend.
Yeah. Or
because like my first Thanksgiving with her, I was just her best friend.
We had already been together for an entire year.
And I was just her best friend.
She was just my best friend. And my dad, when we got in the car, he was like, can you guys just be friends for this dinner? My grandmother was there. My aunts are there. And I come from a very traditionally Hispanic Catholic family. So coming from that, I needed to know that, one, they only spoke Spanish. She does not.
I understand it better than I can speak it.
Yes.
Like for me, I can keep up listening to your conversation, but if you ask me for a reply in Spanish, brain doesn't connect.
Does not. Arrow 404. So
at all.
So I knew that having that was gonna be really hard. We both come from divorced parents, so this past holiday sucked.
We had to go to 4 different households.
We had to go to her dad's house to go see her sister and her nephews and all of them. We had to be with her mom. We had to see my mom, and then we had to see my dad and his entire side of the family, because my mom, it's only my mom with her. But then it's my dad, my aunt, my grandmother, my cousins, my third cousins, my fourth uncle. Like, we had to go and see all of them. And even last holidays, we didn't get to see everyone that we needed to see. We just didn't have time.
Even then, like, my family is separated too.
Yeah.
Like, my mom's side does not communicate with my dad's side. And so even just going to see my mom and my dad, I had to go see my sisters, my brothers, and then like
the youngest of 7.
Yeah. And so like we don't live together. And so we only got to see who was there when we got to go there. If not, we made time. Like my sister, we went to go see her personally. To go see her and my nephew and all that. Just because that's what we felt like doing. Like she loves us as a couple. Like she would, if we broke up, she'd keep her. And I'm her sister. Thanks.
Like my birthday's coming up. And she told her that my birthday's coming up. And she's like, we need to do something. Did she do anything for her birthday?
No.
But
I got a text 4 days later.
Yeah. It's okay. It's that. It's knowing that, you know, I have love from her family. The love that she gets from my family is a little different. Her
nephew loves me. I'm his favorite person. That's all that matters.
There's people he sees every single day that he does not like.
And he still loves me.
And he still goes and he cares. You know, he's one of those people that if he doesn't like you, you'll know.
You'll know that he does not like you.
He will not want you to carry him. He will not bring you things because he's a very big person on like grabbing something and then taking it to you and then grabbing it from you, putting it down.
He's 1.5. He's almost 1.5.
Yeah.
So I've been there since he was 2. He's a second day old.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to go for his birthday.
I saw him born, so that's a whole.
But so like even since that day, it's been me and him.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, I bought him clothes, we take him out. Like he wouldn't let anyone else hold him at a certain point in time.
My sister-in-law, and you get along really well. Like, you forget that she's my sister.
Yeah, because you never call her your sister-in-law.
You know, it's the love that we get from each other's family is very different. And I feel like right now we're at a place where I'm at my mom's, and my mom's been supportive of like having her stay here during quarantine and like letting her exist in our general bubble. But it's, you know, it's planning those things out ahead of time. It's communicating about, hey, my family doesn't know I'm out yet, so can we be friends? If that's not comfortable with them, you have to respect that.
Yeah.
You have to respect that they don't just want to be your friend.
So the camera died again.
It died twice. We thought we were recording. Twice. It didn't make a sound.
It's a new camera. We just got it, so we're still figuring out how it works. So if you ever have any like tips you want to drop below, let us know.
Please. We're so new to this. We got into YouTube way late. I started a YouTube channel way back when.
And she was a fetus.
I was in middle school.
She was a fetus.
Where everyone had a YouTube channel. And then I made it with a couple friends, and then that...
I did have one.
We can react to our... I don't know if she privated them or not. We'll have to see. I'll have to ask
there's only
her.
like a video that's up.
Oh no, we have like 4.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, no, we have quite a bit.
I have videos up right now on mine, but that's because I'm a bowler, so.
Oh.
Those are up too.
Okay. So, if you guys want to know how to deal with family, let us know. We'll make a video on it. And
if you honestly just had some genuine questions, I mean, we're open to just answering questions. If you want to see more content, if you want to see certain types of content, if you want to just have us do Q&As, live streams, whatever, let us know down below. We will also link our social medias. We currently only have an Instagram. We don't know if we want Twitter. Neither of us really use Twitter.
Yeah.
So let us know though, and we'll take in consideration.
that being said, like, comment, subscribe, share it
And
with your
genuinely
friends.
have a good day. Like, it's hard with everything that's going on right now. We're in quarantine, and it's crazy right now in the world. So if this makes you smile even a little bit, please just, like, let us know.
Share with your significant other. Watch it together. Like, this was genuinely us wanting to sit down and talk about this because we know it's not easy. We know dealing with differences is a huge problem. And, you know, with racism, homophobia, xenophobia, like anything you want to think of, we've been through it. We've had to deal with it because, you know,
My parents are really old school.
her parents are...
No. My dad's a dinosaur.
He was in Vietnam.
He won't watch this.
I know.
So, this is about it. This is about it.
My parents are very young, but they grew up very conservative in a very traditional area in Mexico. So, you know, it is very different. There's so many things that I can talk about. But, you know, let us know down below what you guys want to see, what you guys don't want to see. That helps us too, because we don't want to make videos you guys aren't interested in. You know, we're planning on doing some challenges here and there, a little bit more Q&As, a vlog here and there. You know, let us know down below what you guys want to see.
And have a nice day. Like, again, it's hard right now.
Do your homework.